Well, the Muda site distribution controversy had reached the last stage of investigations, but in a new move, the Under-Secretary of the Urban Development Department has now recommended CBI probe into the case. He has instructed the Commissioner to file an FIR in this regard. Here's a report. Somehow you can't keep the Mandya Urban Development Authority out of focus. Some time ago, Muda was in the news for the illegal distribution of 107 sites. In fact, a CBI probe too was ordered last year. Now, in a new move, the government has ordered the CBI to look into all the cases related to the Muda illegal site distribution scam from 2002 to 2012. It has also ordered an FIR to be filed in this regard. On June 4th, the Under-Secretary of the Urban Development Authority had submitted a 670-page report on all the illegal site distributions from 2002 to 2012. The report included illegal distribution of 1,821 sites that cost the government 300 crore rupees. Studying the severity of the scam, the government has ordered a CBI probe into the matter and has also asked the police to file an FIR. The police will collect all the details and documents and will file an FIR in 2 to 3 days' time. The names of as many as 12 commissioners and many engineers figure in the report.
ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ FIR ದಾಖಲಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟವರ ಮೇಲೆ FIR ದಾಖಲಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ FIR ದಾಖಲಿಸಿ FIR ನ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಕಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ನಂತರ ಅದು ಹೋಮ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಆಗಿ ಅದು CBIಗೆ ವಹಿಸುವಂತದ್ದು ಈಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ದಾಖಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ದಾಖಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ರೋಢೀಕರಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಕ್ರೋಢೀಕರಿಸಿದ ನಂತರ FIR ದಾಖಲಿಸ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು.
However, the big wigs of politics, including Housing Minister Ambarish and other JDS leaders, have received a jolt due to this development in the Muda scam case. The 10-year scam has now been handed over to the CBI. The complainants have welcomed this move of the government and are hoping that the accused are punished and penalized.
ಹಾಲಿ ಆಯುಕ್ತರಾದ ಮತಾಯಿರವರು ಹಲವಾರು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನಡೆದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದರು. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು CBI ತನಿಖೆಗೆ ವಹಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಏನು ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಲ್ಲಬೇಕಾದ ನಿವೇಶನಗಳನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಸ್ಥರುಗಳು ಲೂಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು ಹೊರಬರಬೇಕು. ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರು ತಪ್ಪಿತಸ್ಥರು ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾವನೆ.
The residents of Mandya are all praises for the government for this big move against Muda. Ravi Lalipalya, News9, Mandya. Bengaluru's reputation as the suicide capital of India received another affirmation addition. Well, a techie, Adhir Mukherjee, a native of West Bengal, was found lying dead on his bed. He was a resident of Indiranagar in the city. The body has been moved to Bowring Hospital and the post-mortem will be conducted once his family arrives from Bengal. It is said that Adhir Mukherjee had not been responding to his family's calls for almost 4 days now, and his family alerted his friend who came into his house, realized that the door had been locked from inside and barged open to find him lying dead. The body has been shifted to Bowring Hospital, although initial evidence indicated that probably it was a case of natural death, maybe a case of heart attack as well. A few of the eyewitnesses claim that he was lying in a pool of blood.
ಬಾಗಿಲು ತೆಗೆದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಈ ಥರ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಕರೆದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಒಂದು 11 ಗಂಟೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಾಡಿ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಫುಲ್ ಊದ್ಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು ಬಟ್ಟೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಬೆಡ್ಡು ಪಿಲ್ಲೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇದೆ.
Well, it was a case that shook the entire state. A cruel woman getting her lover killed just because she feared that her prospective husband would grow suspicious of her. Yes, we're talking about the gruesome murder of Dilip by Meenakshi's would-be husband Pratap and his accomplices. The court decreed that the accused are indeed convicts and awarded them a lifer. But how was the murder case solved? And how did the public prosecutor prove this case in court? What were the clinching evidences that were produced before the Honourable Court? Well, that is a thrilling story in itself. Here are all the details.
Evidence number 1. The motorbike that belonged to Dilip's uncle. The first evidence that was put forth was a motorbike on which Dilip was travelling. This bike belonged to his uncle, and it was Dilip's friends who informed his uncle about his death. So, how did this prove as evidence?
Motorbike used by the Dilip, the RCO holder is his uncle Chandrasekhar. That's why his friends called in. Your vehicle, my motorcycle is here. Oh, one person is dying here. Body is lying here like that. Then all
Phone
this
number was mentioned.
not phone number. Phone number, yes. He was having his close friends, some known friends that nearby their native place also. Then all the family members of the Dilip rushed to the spot and saw, and they come to the conclusion that it is not accident case. Seeing what.
Evidence number 2. Dilip's friends know of Meenakshi's wedding. How did Dilip's friends come to know about Meenakshi's wedding with Pratap? Well, that indeed is very exciting.
Then they came to know that, surprisingly, with whom this Dilip was living, the Meenakshi's marriage was fixed on that day. She was in the marriage function, Meenakshi. They surprised to hear this message because Dilip, during the college days, he used to tell his love with this Meenakshi, with his close friends. And not only that, he had given advance marriage party also to all these friends.
Evidence number 3. Cell phones, SIM cards, call details. In many criminal cases, cell phones, SIM cards and even call details play a crucial role in cornering the offender. In this case too, it was not any different.
And from them, all mergers, all mobile sets were recovered, seized under mergers. There are several mergers. They collected SIM numbers, IME number, etc., and they checked the call details and called for secured the call details from the concerned server companies.
Evidence number 4. The Scorpio vehicle, cameras and phone calls. During interrogation, Pratap informed the police that he traveled in a Scorpio. So, the police used this piece of info too as evidence. How exactly did they do it?
During the course of interrogation, Pratap revealed that we have come from Bangalore in a Scorpio vehicle. After noting the Scorpio vehicle's number, etc., they checked the toll naka, Devihalli, Lanko Devihalli, I think toll plaza is here, no? Towards Hassan. They checked the toll plaza cameras, etc., by putting this vehicle's number. They got incoming and outgoing clips. It clearly discloses at 3:30, I think in the evening, they crossed that toll plaza and returned after murder at 7:30 near Hollywood, and after they returned, the same after 12. That is false on 14th. Then during the course of investigation, it revealed that she called Dilip to celebrate Valentine Day, because 14th was a Valentine Day, universal celebration. On that guide, she asked the Dilip to come to that place to finish him. It was called as Valentine Day murder case.
Evidence number 5. Photos of Meenakshi's intimacy with Dilip. Here is something interesting that we need to tell you. Dilip had a laptop. After his death, some children in his house were having a look at some of the visuals on his system. That is when they stumbled upon some photos of Meenakshi getting intimate with Dilip. The police used this as another clinching evidence.
There, the children's, they found some hidden clips, hidden folders. Hidden folders revealed some photos. It contains some photos. There, in photos, it discloses the physical contact between deceased and Dilip and Meenakshi, kissing, etc.
This was in Dilip's
Laptop.
It is primarily for this reason why Meenakshi got Dilip murdered. She was afraid that Pratap would come to know of her physical proximity with Dilip, which would further dent her marriage prospects. Evidence number 6. Dying declaration. A dying declaration can act as strong testimony in many cases, but in this case, Dilip was murdered by, well, as we all know, Pratap. Did Dilip tell something to Pratap which could act as dying declaration? Well, certainly not. Here is what exactly happened.
No affair with his mother.
With his mother. Okay.
Dilip is no more now.
Yeah.
Hence, it comes under the definition. I impress the court, convince the court. Hence, it comes under the definition of second clause, second part of the dying declaration. 32 section of the Evidence Act. In the same way, he has stated, Dilip stated before the Suresh regarding the same. And also he has given some party in this Soundarya. In that hidden clip, the Soundarya residency, what he has given advance marriage party, that clips also there, video clips.
Evidence number 7. The tool with which Dilip was hit. The articles used by Dilip. Dilip was hit with a jack lever. When the police took Pratap to the spot of crime, he showed them the tool which was lying there and also a cooling glass.
Thrown the jack lever nearby the spot, and if he was carried to that spot, he will show and produce. Accordingly, he produces the jack lever from the spot where he was
available in there.
There. After 5-6 days, 7-8 days, it was there in there. His disease cooling glass also recovered there itself.
Evidence number 8. Towels. Lastly, it was the towels.
During the course of investigation, one person taken the police to the Panduranga Cross Stores, Halebedu. There he admitted, seeing yes, this is the same person. One that day he came and purchased 2 towels.
Oh,
Then they also police collected also 2 sample towels
okay.
for the purpose to prove the case. The similar towels were there in the Panduranga Cross Stores like that.
These are the clinching evidence that nailed all the 5 accused: Pratap, his accomplices and Meenakshi. It must be reiterated that Meenakshi got Dilip murdered because she feared that Pratap would come to know of her physical proximity with Dilip. And what is all the more sad is that Dilip, to whom Meenakshi was the be-all and end-all, is no more. And that is indeed a terrible thing for his parents to digest. A News9 report.
And well, it's pouring miseries on the roads of Mumbai as the monsoons arrived in the country's commercial capital. But the rains were no deterrent to investors today, even as India continued to bask in the glory and sunshine as a favourite.
Sensex hits new lifetime high. The benchmark Sensex got off to a brisk start as foreign investors rushed to buy Indian equities. It opened the day at 25,661 points and rose to an all-time high of 25,841 points. The Nifty 50 kept the Sensex crossing 7,700 points. Now, brokers are predicting the Nifty touching 8,000 if Arun Jaitley, the new finance minister, comes out with a dream budget.
I think we have once again to make a choice. Does India need a certain amount of fiscal discipline at this time? Do we need prudence? Or do we need some mindless spending and populism?
What also aided the rally on Wednesday was the fact that the union government had announced a hike of 16 rupees 50 paise in case of non-subsidized LPG cylinders. The market is viewing the finance minister to announce tough fiscal measures to control the fiscal deficit and boost growth. Investors were seen buying equities across the board. Metals, banks and other beaten sectors including real estate emerged as the favourites as brokers and investors wait for July 10th when Arun Jaitley will announce Budget 2014. Curiously, while Tata Consultancy Services or TCS stock ended the day up, Infosys closed marginally lower. The rupee also joined the party and hit a 2-week high of 59.57 on the back of high dollar inflows as investors bought equities. The rupee ended Wednesday at 59.69, up 38 paise compared to Tuesday's closing. The party could continue as Brent crude prices are trading at the lowest level since June 12. Lower crude prices are good news for India as the country depends heavily on imported fuel to meet its consumption needs. Predictably, precious metals skidded on the back of heavy buying in equities. A News9 report.